My name is Jason Pyron with the Fish and Wildlife Service, and I work on sagebrush steppe conservation across the state of Idaho. I'm here today with Nathan and Carrie, and if you guys would both introduce yourselves and who you represent.
Okay. My name's Carrie York. I work for the Wood River Land Trust, which is based in Haley, Idaho.
My name is Nathan Welch, and I'm a GIS analyst with the Nature Conservancy here in Idaho.
Very good. And both Nathan and Carrie have been working here in this part of central Idaho on sagebrush steppe conservation. And I'd like each of you two to provide what you believe your organization's unique role in sagebrush steppe conservation is, so a little bit, and how you guys have partnered as well to try and work on some more significant threats in this part of Idaho. And I guess I'll start with you, Carrie, and your role.
So the Wood River Land Trust, we're a local nonprofit land conservation land trust based in Haley, and we work all within central Idaho, which a lot of that landscape is sagebrush steppe. So a lot of the conservation easements that we do with private landowners, a lot of the land that we purchase and use for preserves, a lot of those management plans do include management for improving and protecting the sagebrush steppe habitat. The preserve that we're on right now, the Square Lake Preserve, which is south of Haley, was protected specifically for the sage-grouse lek that was here several years ago. So we're also involved with local conservation efforts in the Pioneer Mountains. We've partnered with several other nonprofit organizations, including the Land Trust, with local landowners and with government agencies like the BLM and the NRCS to do specifically sagebrush steppe and landscape scale conservation in the Pioneer Mountains and in the Craters of the Moon area.
Thanks. That's great. And Carrie, I guess, Nathan, if you could provide your guys' role with the TNC, and more specifically maybe just hint on what some of the GIS has allowed us to be able to do.
So, working in the science program with the Nature Conservancy in Idaho, we use several different types of spatial information to make decisions about conservation. There are three primary types of information we use. We have lek data that goes back for at least a couple decades, that's actually collected and managed by the Idaho Department of Fish and Game. We also have information about the distribution of sage-grouse and their habitat around the state, especially priority areas. And then lastly, we have a lot of aerial imagery that we can use for different purposes, including some work we've been doing in Hawaii County tracking juniper and how it is encroached over time into areas and actually degrades the quality of the habitat for sage-grouse. The Nature Conservancy is working to protect sage-grouse and sage-grouse habitat, namely sagebrush steppe habitat, in three broad areas in the state of Idaho. Southwestern Idaho and Hawaii County, that's an area where we're actively working to reduce juniper. We also have been active in the upper salmon watersheds, especially the Lemhi and the Persimmon, which are some areas in Idaho, sort of the northern extent of sage-grouse. And thirdly, we've been very active in the Pioneers to Craters landscape here in central Idaho. This is a landscape that includes the national forest, a real mix of private land, state land, and federal land, and then a large chunk of land managed by the National Park Service and the BLM. The Conservancy has been working with a number of nonprofit partners to do land conservation in this Pioneers Craters landscape, including having completed a number of large conservation easements on private lands that will protect habitat for sage-grouse, as well as help as well as helping farmers and ranchers stay on the land over time and protecting these lands from development.
Perfect. And Carrie, if I could ask you, I guess, reflect on just the importance of bringing kids into this picture and these school trips.
Well, it's very different for kids to be out in the landscape that we're talking about and actually see the sagebrush and be out and do some type of activity and relate what they're learning about to what the natural environment is. So I think for them to have this sort of experience, to see different aspects of sagebrush steppe habitat and to talk about sage-grouse conservation, it just really solidifies a lot of the ideas and a lot of the theory behind what we've been talking about, a lot more than just talking about it in the classroom.